At this point of the battle, most officers are killed or injured.
Okay. The enemy's constant gunfire causes heavy damages to our lines, which has a demoralising effect on all the soldiers who have already endured 5 consecutive nights and days of bombardment. Nevertheless, the 16th Regiment courageously resists until 10:25.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
After 7 hours of German attack, and having suffered 800 casualties, almost a third of its strength, the 16th Territorial Regiment fell back from Courcelles, leaving a small platoon to cover their retreat.
One of these men is your great-grandfather, Louis Volant. This is service record.
In the October battle, he took command of a section and held his men under violent fire. With the greatest calm, he... Oh, my God. He killed.
He killed
several German soldiers.
For protecting his position and defending his comrades.
Oh, my God. He was seriously injured in the arm and the side. By
a shell.
A shell.
A shell.
Okay. Oh, my goodness me.
So, Louis Volant, your great-grandfather, who was, before the First World War, an ordinary man, a waiter.
He was a waiter.
And a good soldier when he was a conscript.
Yeah, but
yes.
15 days training for this.
Yes, became, in Courcelles, a hero. When his officers were killed, he was still there, fighting.
Amazing.
For his bravery, your great-grandfather won la Croix de Guerre. The Legion d'Honneur is an award for officer class. The Croix de Guerre is an award for the fighter.
It's better. The Croix de Guerre is much better than Legion d'Honneur.
That's the fighter medal.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
In your family, have you a Croix de Guerre?
Not that I'm aware of,
no.
No.
Here?
You are joking.
I have la Croix de Guerre with a bronze star. Exactly the same that your great-grandfather won. And I will be very, very honored if you accept it.
Thank you so much.
In memory of your great-grandfather.
Thank you very much indeed.
Please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God. Thank you. I now understand how this happened. We have 2 men with the same name who really were war heroes. My great-grandfather's gone back to defend bridges and roads, and then he finds himself in the middle of this incredibly bloody battle. And my Louis, who was a waiter, and a very ordinary, but to me not an ordinary man at all, he leaps into action. I've always been most impressed with bravery against the odds. You know, bravery when it looks like you're beaten, bravery when, okay, we're all gonna die, but let's go down fighting. And that's what he did.
The 16th Territorial Regiment's heroic resistance at Courcelles helped to stop the German army breaking through French lines, and Paris remained in French control for the rest of the war. Louis recovered from his injuries and went on to serve as an army interpreter. He continued to write regularly to Lizzie and his children.
So it's just incredible to look at all these letters from Louis to the family in England. There's a letter here from 1918. That must be getting towards the end of his service. He's maybe about to be demobbed. And then he went back to London, I know that, and he worked at the Savoy for all those years. And then he reappears in France. The address is in an area called Maison Lafitte. I've no idea where that is, but this is where he seems to have lived in this later part of his life. So I would love to go there, love to find out where Louis is buried.
In the early 1930s, Louis left England and his family for good, retiring to the quiet town of Maisons-Laffitte, just outside Paris. He died there on the 17th of September 1949, at the age of 72. Jo has contacted the local cemetery in Maisons-Laffitte, who have a record of her great-grandfather's burial there. Cemetery attendant Max Wiedemann has agreed to show her Louis' resting place.
Nous allons tourner à gauche. Je vais vous montrer, on va y arriver là.
Okay.
Jo is the first member of her family to visit Louis' grave.
Voilà.
Il est ici.
Voilà, Monsieur Louis Voland repose dans la fosse commune.
Pourquoi?
Alors, au bout d'un certain nombre d'années, comme les personnes ne se manifestent pas, la famille et tout, les corps sont exhumés. On fait ce que l'on appelle des réductions de corps. Et donc, il a été réinhumé dans un ossuaire, dans une fosse commune. Je suis désolé pour vous.
Louis was put in a communal grave, which is a horrible shock. Il y a combien de personnes sont ici?
On n'a pas de nombre exact, on n'a pas de nombre. C'est une fosse commune, c'est un ossuaire en fait.
I asked him how many people are in this grave because immediately I think, well, fine, you know, I want him out of there and I will make sure that he's buried properly. But they literally don't know how many people have been put into this communal grave, so finding Louis' remains could be very difficult.
Louis was originally buried in a single plot, but as the cemetery became overcrowded and none of his relatives could be traced, his remains were moved in 1968.
I must be honest, part of me is very angry because he had family, and until relatively recently he had quite close family, in that the last of his children didn't die very long ago. And certainly my mother, who was so keen to know where he was buried, can have had no idea what had happened. It's such an unfitting end for a really extraordinary man. Yesterday was traumatic. I expected to walk into that cemetery and have I suppose, a satisfying full stop. And it wasn't neat and satisfying at all. It was quite disturbing to me. So I don't want this story to end there. I want to find out more.
Jo knows that Louis was born in Paris's 10th arrondissement in 1877, and that his mother was called Salome Chouch. To see if she can find out more about Salome, she's come to the Paris Hospital archives where the birth records for the city are held. Genealogist Karen Tardy has agreed to help Jo with her search.
Hello. Are you Karen?
Yes.
Hi.
Karen.
How do you do? I'm Jo.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you too.
All the birth certificates are organized by date.
Right.
Enter the number of arrondissement
10th arrondissement.
and the date. July 07 1977. Yes, perfect.
Recherché?
Yes.
So we're looking for Volant
You can zoom with
this.
With this.
Yeah.
yeah,
We're in July.
Yes.
Le 31 juillet.
31 juillet. But there is no Louis Volant in this
No.
page.
Chouch.
What's
Salome
that?
Chouch, that's him. That's his mother's name.
Is mother there?
So this must be him.
Yeah.
Louis, male child, born yesterday,
Born yesterday.
at 7 o'clock in the morning, son of Salome Chouch, who is aged 23 years, domestic
She was a
servant,
servant. But it's not Louis Volant, it's Louis Chouche.
He was not born Louis Volant?
Yes. There is no name father.
There's no father. Oh my goodness. We had a pregnant servant. A pregnant unmarried servant.
Under 19th century French law, unmarried mothers like Salome had to legally acknowledge their illegitimate children if they intended to keep them.
Oh, I see a Louis.
Louis, yes, Salome Chouche.
Yes. 23-year-old servant recognises her natural son,
Natural
Louis.
son.
I had high hopes of Salome. I didn't think she was going to abandon her son.
And we have not the name of the father.
And no name of the father.
She signed.
And she signed, that's her signature.
Yes, this is the signature.
Karen has found more information about Salome in the hospital's admissions register.
Oh my goodness. Chouche. Salome Chouche, age 23, servant.
She's single.
She's single. As are all these women, and they're all single. Lots and lots of entries like that.
Yes. It was very common in Paris at this period. 30% of Parisian babies are illegitimate.
Really? Wow. So she was in hospital for 8 days?
8 days.
And as a servant, she was probably living with the family she was working for?
Probably.
Right. So she's living in Rue Clausel, number 19.
In the 9th
arrondissement. Is that quite near here?
Yes, it's not so far from here.
I'm very intrigued about Salome Chouche. She was a servant, probably a maid, I'm assuming. And we've got an address for where I think she was living and working when Louis was born. So I'm interested to see that house and know where she was at this time.